But that was a whole load of shit. It's a damn good thing that our starting offensive liners are saving grace because the backups, terrible. Don't get me started on the secondary. I mean, Xavier Watts, Billy Bowman, and also James Pierce, of course, have been playing well in the preseason. At least our rookies are doing nice. Nick Nash balling out pretty much. He was only quiet because nobody would let him get the respect he deserves. I'm telling you, if I was the GM, Nick Nash is definitely wide receiver 4 or 5 at the moment right now. Are you telling me that Casey Washington, you could have him over Nick Nash? Are you fucking high? Watching Nick Nash completely go off in the regular season, do better than Casey Washington, then replace him as the wide receiver 5, maybe even go to wide receiver 4. I'm just throwing it out there. And college football, welcome back to Big 12 country. And the first game starts on Saturday. Welcome back to Grizzly Talks Football. Ladies and gentlemen, I am going to be doing the 5 most overrated teams in the AP poll and the 5 most underrated teams that should have been in the poll. 5 teams that shouldn't either be not in the AP poll or be significantly lower in the AP poll. That's what I mean for most overrated. And as for the most underrated, that's just teams that are on top 25 team, but they don't show that according to the AP poll voters. Obviously, the AP poll doesn't mean shit, but hey, our opinions sometimes may. And if for some reason you are still looking for that playlist for season 2, I'll make sure to have it in the link in the description, so you guys can go check it out, see every episode, so you're all caught up, and you'll also have it for future episodes whenever they come out. Also, don't forget to hit the red subscribe button and hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos, and it helps the channel a lot. Without further ado, let's go over my top 5 overrated and top 5 underrated teams in the AP poll. We're actually going to start off with the overrated teams, just FYI, because there are 2 in particular that shouldn't even be on this poll. The first one that should not be in this poll is none other than the Oklahoma Sooners. Sure, they got John Mateer from Washington State. Sure, they got Jaden Ott from Cal, who had a really good 2023 season, but had a sprained ankle in 2024, which hindered his production. Good transfer portal, but you know who their coach is? His name is a guy who's on the hot seat right now, Brent Venables. This was his head coaching record through 3 seasons so far. 6-7, 10-3, 6-7. And the second 6-7 season was in the SEC. I mean, sure, they beat Alabama, but my God, they were ass on offense. At least they had a good defense, though. Unfortunately, I don't see much changing as long as Brent Venables is coaching for them, because I'm seeing them as a 7-5, 8-4 probably team. I don't see them competing for an SEC championship or a playoff berth at this point in time. I mean, 2 losing seasons at Oklahoma in 3 years? That's just absolutely terrible. They're ranked 18th. I think they are way too high right now. I mean, for a team with a losing record, that's just fucking ridiculous. Up next, we got Texas Tech at number 2, the Red Raiders. Now, I know what you're thinking. You gotta be kidding me, right? They had the number 2 transfer portal class. That is true. Had a really good transfer portal. I will give him that. However, when it comes to play on the field, that's where I start to get the red flag. Guys, they haven't had a 10-win season since 2008. That means for 15 years, maybe 16, they have been right around mid. They haven't been ass for very long, but they haven't been at the top where they felt like they could have been with Oklahoma, Texas leaving. But nope, they are still right where they were for 15 years straight now. They've been right at mid. Ranked 23rd to start the season, even though, let's be honest, they weren't even ranked even in 2024, and now all of a sudden they're ranked because of their transfer portal class. That remains to be seen. I'm predicting y'all will go like 8-4 again. Number 3 for me is the team that's actually ranked number 14 in the EP poll, the Michigan Wolverines. This was a little surprise, but Michigan nearly got the death penalty, but instead they got a slap on the wrist. Hefty fine, a no-show thing or whatever with Jim Harbaugh, and Sherrone Moore got like a 3-game suspension. That's not the biggest story here. The biggest story is that Michigan has pretty much lost every single player that has had that have been with Jim Harbaugh in their glory days when they finally beat Ohio State and also finally won a national title. All those great defenders are gone. Aiden Hutchinson, Kenneth Grant, and Mason Graham in the first round, Will Johnson in the second round just this past draft. I mean, they lost a lot of guys from their great championship team. And I just don't think, even with Sherrod Moore coaching 9 games, I don't think he's that great of a coach. He did well enough to beat Ohio State, so I guess that counts for something. You guys are going to be like 7-5 or 6-6 or 8-4. One of those 3. Nothing else. At least you finally figured out your quarterback situation with Bryce Underwood. But as far as actual coaching, that's where it starts to go downhill. You guys will be lucky to win 9 games this year. At number 4, I have a team that is actually in the top 10. And I think it's the Miami Hurricanes. Little interesting one, huh? Well, this team won 10-3 with Cam Ward. They had a 9-0 record, but unfortunately, they lost to Georgia Tech and Syracuse to miss out on the ACC championship. And then they also lost again to Iowa State because their defense was ass. It's kind of pretty much the same team as last year, except they downgraded a quarterback by getting Carson Beck. I wouldn't say Carson Beck is bad by any means, but to call him a Heisman candidate is fucking ridiculous. Especially after the 2024 he had. I don't think he was even close to being mentioned for a Heisman in the Heisman voting last year. That's how kind of mid he was. And with this whole girlfriend situation, I do not think Carson Beck is going to be that great of a quarterback this year. Even with an offense-only squad. I'll say Miami will be lucky to win 9 games this year. The magical run died when you played Georgia Tech. And the number 5 most overrated team, I'm going to say, by the way, these are in no particular order. I got the Alabama Crimson Tide at number 5. Sadly for Alabama, I mean, what were they ranked? Like 8 or 9? I think they were ranked 8th in this poll, AP poll, but I don't know, man. I just heard that Jam Miller is injured. He broke his collarbone and he's going to be missing a couple months, so probably like the first 4 or 5 games before he plays Georgia. That's not the biggest thing that's going on right now. It's the fact that Caleb Bauer does not have a defense. I mean, yeah, they won 9 games. They failed to win 10 games for the first time since, let me check, 2007, Nick Saban's first year. I'm not even kidding. They failed to win 10 games for the first time since 2007, Nick Saban's very first season. If you're Alabama, you gotta be quite a bit concerned, especially with the quarterback situation that you guys going on. I mean, sure, you got Ryan Williams still out there in the offense. I mean, defensively, kind of proven, but I think the Saban talent has already went out the window. Oh yeah, Jalen Milroe's gone. This is my opinion, but feel free to have an opinion of your own. But I believe that Bama is cooked this year. If you thought 9 wins was bad, just wait until what happens this upcoming season. It's going to be a lot worse, probably. Kalen does know how to field a good offense, but as we all like to say, defense wins championships, and he doesn't have one. Or at least, not anymore. And now we are on to the most underrated teams in the college football that should have been in the AP poll. Number 1, I have got to mention him because they should have been in this poll if it wasn't for all the damn SEC teams. What was it, like 10 of them in the top 25 because they were in the SEC? Fucking bullshit, man. But I gotta say, number 1 is the Baylor Bears. A lot of the offensive weapons are coming back. I think defense should be in good shape as well. I mean, Baylor has actually been through a little roller coaster, but a very nice job in the rebuild, by the way. They won 6 straight games last year? They were 2-4, and then they all of a sudden go on a huge run, and they end up making the Texas Bowl where they unfortunately lost to Brian Kelly. That future does look bright for those Bears, man. Watch out for them. I see this team being potential Big 12 contenders this upcoming season. I'm talking at least 10 wins. Take it back to the glory days of 2013 to 2015. I see you, Dave Aranda. Number 2, I gotta mention them even though I fucking hate these guys. It's the Utah Utes. Literally, there were a couple of Big 12 teams that should have been on here. Spoiler alert. A couple of these are Big 12 teams. I mean, Big 12 is like the most underrated conference in the Power 4. For Utah's case, they got two big names on the offense coming in to help fix this offensive situation. Devin Dampier at quarterback, he's starting, and his former coach and now offensive coordinator, or actually former offensive coordinator, which is now his own offensive coordinator at Utah. He goes by the name of Jason Beck. BYU fans, I think you know him well, the brother of John Beck. I think Jason is going to have a little kickstart into that offensive gear, especially with his own quarterback alongside him. I hate to say it, but Utah might actually prove to be a big force in that Big 12. Another team in the Big 12 that looks to make a big impact, I mean, if we learned anything from last year, anybody can win. Number 3, of course, has to be the BYU Cougars. Sure, we lost quite a bit of starters. Sure, we lost quite a bit, and we had a bad transfer portal class, but we still got some key weapons. Keanu Tanafasa finally transferred to us from Utah. We got Carson Ryan from Utah as well. We still have LJ Martin. We still have Chase Roberts. QB situation, I mean, it can't get any worse than Jake Retzloff, can it? No, but our linebacker core is still intact. And our cornerbacks, that's really going to be the biggest concern here. Our front seven is fine, but can our secondary be one of the best? If our quarterback, whoever starts, plays better than Jake, and our cornerbacks remain pretty solid, I think this team can actually win at least 10 games again. For Utah, I expect an 11-win season from them. Nah, I'm just kidding. 9. Number 4 most underrated team is not from the Big 12. It's actually going to be in the ACC. I actually think the Louisville Cardinals should have been ranked. This is Jeff Brom's 3rd year as the coach. He had some very good seasons, 10-4 and 9-4, including an ACC championship berth for the first time ever for Louisville. He's got a great future ahead of him, especially with the good transfer portal. And that includes former USC quarterback Miller Moss. A couple of great offensive and defensive weapons as well. I think they had a total of 32 transfers, and they were actually very solid on paper. I hope Jeff Brom and the Cardinals have a good season in the ACC. You know who else should have been ranked out of the ACC? My 5th and final most underrated team, the Yellow Jackets of Georgia Tech. Brent Key, also in his 3rd year as the head coach, he's been having 7-6 teams for a while now, but Georgia Tech looks to be better than ever. I mean, defense very strong, especially on the defensive line and secondary, with guys like Jordan Vandenberg, Akila Stone on the defensive line, including Clayton Powell-Lee and Omar Daniels on the secondary, just to name a few. They had some impactful transfers. They got promising freshmen like Dalen Penson and Tay Harris. I mean, this team is going to be a strong contender in the ACC. Both these teams are at least going to win 9 games. So don't be surprised if they're going to be in the AP poll by the end of the regular season. Time for the buzz to strike all of college football and the ACC. And that will do it for this episode of Christy Talks Football. And if you enjoyed, make sure you give this a big fat thumbs up. Hit the red subscribe button. Hit the notification bell so you don't miss a single one of my videos. This is the Chris signing off for now. And until next time, I'll see you guys later. Peace, love, keep the Christy vibes with you at all times. Take care.